Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for yielding. Uh, Let me start by saying that it's ironic when the majority claims that one of the main aims of these four endangered species bills is to improve transparency of ESA and the agencies. These four bills were crafted by a self-appointed ESA working group without any input from the Democrats and this committee, agencies, or environmental organizations. I wonder how we improve transparency of ESA when the process for crafting the legislation is untransparent and one-sided. Let me first, H.R. 4315 is unnecessary and would impose an unfunded mandate on agencies that are already strapped for cash in the do more with less budget climate that we have here in Congress. The bill is duplicative. The agencies already published a summary of all data used in the basis of a listing decision by in the Federal Registrar when they make their determination. Any data can be requested and provided as long as it's not subject to confidentiality requirements. The other 4316 focuses entirely on the cost of citizen enforcement cases without acknowledging or accounting for the important role these cases play in protecting species and holding federal agents accountable. We're all for transparency, but this bill prescribes reporting requirements on Interior, the Forest Service, the Marine Fisheries Service that will again impose an unfunded mandate on an already limited agency resource. The Republican majority has already bombarded the Interior with countless subpoenas and a number of burdensome document requests. Interior Secretary Jewell reports that her department has spent more than 19,000 staff hours and nearly $1.5 million responding to these document requests just in 2013. The passage of this bill would only squander more agency resources and waste taxpayer dollars. H.R. 4317 is unnecessary as it forces federal agencies to utilize data from state, tribal, and county entities to listing consideration, regardless if the data is the best science available or not. The bill is also redundant, as the Secretaries of Interior and Commerce already solicit and consider data from the states. Moreover, the federal agencies already work extensively with states under Section 6 of the Act, which requires that the agencies cooperate to the maximum extent possible with the states. During our hearing on this bill 3 weeks ago, we heard from Dr. Stephen Courtney, who said scientific data is based on transparent process of peer review, and the validity of the data can be debated and discussed. So my question is, how could the data be deemed scientific when there is no requirement that it meet any standard for peer review and open discussion? H.R. 4318 discourages the process of checks and balances, as well as public participation and engagement. This bill seeks to obstruct citizens from enforcing the ESA by restricting their ability to recover their actual litigation costs when they prevail in court. This bill is crafted on the false premise that environmental attorneys are getting rich from suing the government. Under H.R. 4318, a prevailing party's request for reimbursement under ESA would be subject to fee caps under the Equal Access to Justice Act. This act is an important safety net that encourages citizens from all walks of life to bring cases that root out government abuse and ensure governmental compliance with our laws. However, this act is not meant to be used in cases where the law does not already provide citizens with an avenue to pursue their case. The ESA is one of America's most effective and important environmental laws, serving as a safety net for plants, fish, wildlife on the brink of extinction. Were it not for ESA, scientists estimate that more than 230 species would have gone extinct in the time since the law's passage. Moreover, when comparing the actual recovery rate of listed species to the recovery plans that have been developed under the law, 90% of the listed species are recovering at a rate that was expected in that plan. These four bills will not improve the efficiency of ESA, quite the opposite. Instead, they would undermine the essential protections of ESA by dictating what is the best available science, squandering agency resources, and wasting taxpayers' money. Throughout this whole markup today, I would urge my members who really care about protecting endangered species to oppose all four pieces of legislation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With that, I yield back.